Welcome to the Appy Hour, the hour where we get appy with apps. Happy, appy, all that good stuff. Today we're going to play around with one of the coolest little drum synth sequencers I've ever seen. Light on resources note, I guess. Very inexpensive, under $10. And yeah, it does cool stuff. So let's play. I see Thomas is in the house, and there's some lurkers in the lurking lounge, and Jim Shannon is lurking. So I don't see anyone else who's right in the front row, and that's cool because you don't have to hang out in the front row. Hey, Jade Star Music is here. So you don't have to be in the front row to learn something. John Swanson. The pie is really overexcited. She apparently wants... Wow, everything is kind of swimming. My camera's swimming. Great. Maybe that's because of Flower Fest. Anyway, I'm going to bring in my very special iPad and let you look at that big screen, and we're going to get to work because we've only got a little less than an hour now. There was just an update to this app, so that's what we'll cover first. Oh, quickly, if my link tree, it's right over there. You can scan it with your camera, or you can pop this little link. There will be other links, like this join link. So swell. Thomas, you're the best. You know that? Super chats, super stickers, Cash App, Venmo, blah, 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 blah. All these things are so exciting in order to help me continue to give you these interesting little app reviews. Right on. Let us head straight in. This has been an eventful weekend, let me tell you guys. For not just me, but for everyone. Flower Fest ended up getting postponed. Hi, I'm in my corner. And here's the iPad. And the kitty is still here. She wishes she had more treats, but it's not time yet. So, all right. There's my glasses. Let's get those glasses. Get to be looking and lurking, and we'll find out what is up with the update. I know, I got it yesterday, and it's not too shabby here. Let us pray. Right on. Apps. My apps. jAmp Percussive. Here we go. What's new? 2 days ago, version 1.4, MIDI and bus settings state of the app can be saved in DAWs such as AUM. So that's cool. Your bus and your MIDI. I don't really mess with that too much yet, but you who are better at this can figure it out. Hey, jAmp Percussive right there on the App Store. Thank you, Thomas. So there's a drum kit. The big thing here is so almost all controls can be MIDI mapped with MIDI Learn. So that means you can do things like modulate some of the knobs, which would be really fun. I think it would be awfully fun. Hey, Bonfire, you called me Leanie? Is that me you're calling Leanie? Hey, Bloody Ritual. Leela? No worries. Me and Leanie are sisters in crime, so it's all right. Anyway, drum kit functionality added. You can now load, save, export, and import drum kits. Now that sounds pretty fun. Randomize button to generate random drum sounds. That's fun. I've used that several times. Option to start and stop the sequencer when the audio unit is run as an AV3 via a host. That's cool. So that's what we've got. I'm just going to one time open it up. Let's go Percussive. So I'm going to open it up first as a standalone, just so you can notice one thing. Whoops, play. So when I change it from synth to sequencer, so see at the top, there's synth. Here's your drum synths, and there's your sequencer. And there is a normally when you're in a DAW, right down here at the bottom right, there's a sync or don't sync button. And it's not in here because you have nothing to sync it with. But we'll look, let's go back to synth. So there's two things. First, you can open up kits. Now there's factory kits, user kits. So you can save something like if you like what you've got, you save the kit and then you don't have to save the whole state. You can just reuse that kit for a whole new. It's all right. No worries, Bonbon. So here there's a funk kit, a techno by slush kit, a tribal kit. Let's listen. Techno by okay, here's the funk kit. We'll close and then we'll just hit them. We should turn this up maybe. There we go. That's the kit. Now if you hit kits again, like techno, let's see what's in the techno kit. Yep, they're very different. They have different decays. They have different delays. They have different attacks. They have different mallet levels, different velocities, different amounts of noise. Sweet. Hey, Kubrick Lover 1972. All right. And now let's do this. So we'll randomize kit. Now, boom. Now just random. Listen to that. Yeah, look at that's a little backwards. Nice, I love that. So not that you can randomize your kits and then you can come in and in each you can randomize the settings. That's this right here for each. So if we're on kick, now let's randomize our kick settings. Very different. Now let's randomize them again. See? Totally sweet. All right. I'm going to hop out of here. We're going to hop into AUM. We're going to add this again. Percussive. The pie is going crazy. She's like, come on, more treats. Maybe one more. Maybe one more set of Temptations indoor care with little grass and things for her grass. All right. So we open it back up. Now, obviously, so when you hit the sequencer button again, here's the sync and no sync. So you can actually run this at 120 while you're running, or you could run this halftime, which you can still do with a sync. Hey, Lori's Mishmash, very cool. So let's find a preset. So now again, many people have gone over this app, so I'm not going to do everything. So I've got this some cowbell. So we'll open this, we'll load this some cowbell, and then I'm just going to hit to play the backwards cymbal. You have to stand on the other side of the drum kit. See, that sounds fine. There's a little bit of mutation. And you can just see so the main bit here is our synth plus sequencer. So the synth, remember, is the first set. So that's where we find our kit. Like here's our tribal kit. We got our tribal kit. But again, you can come in and then you can say you could just modify each kit and then save it yourself. Say let's turn this pitch and so you could actually since there's a hertz, I made one called the solfeggio set, and I tuned all the drums to solfeggio frequencies like 174, 285. You could do the same thing with this, like you could do 174. I like low. I'm kind of into low sounds. There's 174, so got to cook dinner before Frank's show, huh? So now we have a similar sound, but a different pitch. Now this snare is really tick, 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 tick. So I don't hate the pitch, but let's mess with the decay. Short decay, long decay. Give it a little bit, give it a little play inside. Then there's low pass. Which means high cut. So the higher you turn it up, the more you're cutting high frequencies. Yep, there we go. There's our snare. We like that. Now let's overtones. Let's turn the overtone pitch up. And the pitch bend. So overtone is like it hits and then there's a secondary note. Turn this. If you turn that down, you can hear it more. You can hear it more with the other one. Turn the gain down of the overtone. Let's see, let's try. Let's set the, like maybe 285. Oops. So the thing here is you may notice that you moving the knob up and down will turn it left and right at a faster pace. Hey, meow, Hugh. Hey, stop it. None of that, girl. So, say I want it 285. So, when you move left to right, you have a fine tune. See? That's pretty close. Now they're separated by a solfeggio tone. Now we'll take our noise. This one doesn't make a huge difference, so I won't. Then our noise pitch. Or noise envelope. There you go. If you open up the envelope and that, you get more of that snare sound. See, we'll turn that envelope up. See, here it is. If you smallen the envelope. We could turn our noise pitch down. Now you can hear it. See? Noise pitch going. There we go. Hey, stop it. No treats. She's so cute. Hi, Heathen Granny. Oh, I'm glad you like my thumbnail. So here we go. Snare. Now the mallet. Listen to how the mallet changes. See? Very much more mallet-y. So let's get that mallet right there. And then I like to just tickle down the velocity. There we go. I'm not going to mess with this one because it doesn't really program in. It doesn't sound bad. Hey, knock it off, honey. Now here's your high tom. I don't know how I feel about this. Let's hit the... So the only thing... So you're in a certain kind of drum. So these are based on physical modeling. So this is a certain kind of drum. And so each of the controls are... Stop it. All right, kitty. Good girl. The pie is the star of the show. She is. So here, let's hit that tom. That's how different is this from how it used to be. Let's see, mallet it a little more. So we're malleting it super hard. Let's turn down this noise envelope a little. Yeah, I get that. Let's turn the noise up a little. Turn the pitch up a little. Yeah, I like that. Now our overtone is super loud, so we'll take that down a bit. Overtone pitch, we'll pop that up a little more. Maybe we'll take that and we'll give it that 174. Wow, that's really different, huh? Take the pitch bend down a little bit. Maybe a little up. Yeah, I like those together. I know what she wanted. She was like, fix my litter box. Tom low, huh? Let's turn the pitch down. Now, so what I've done is just I started with a different kit. I want less noise. Yeah, that's good. Turn our noise envelope. Turn our noise pitch up a little bit. Get it a little more mallet-y. Yeah, I like this one. There we go. Wow. Let's take the noise down on that. Take the noise envelope down. There we go, like that. That doesn't hurt. Be careful, though. You don't want to make your cat sick. You don't want to wreck their kidneys with treats. Follow your vet's advice. I don't mind that one. Here's our cowbell. I'd like a little more noise in my cowbell, I think. Yeah. That's nice. I'm going to bring the pitch down just a smidge. 396. 369. What I'm finding these are what's called solfeggio frequencies. Yeah. The hi-hat, let's see. Let's mallet it down a little bit. Ooh, our mallet pitch. Isn't that nice? Let's go 174 for our mallet pitch. So again, we're working with these little solfeggio frequencies. They're fun. If you can see, okay, now if you see I'm moving sideways. There we go. Yeah. Ooh, that's a pretty one. Oh, those are awesome. I like this ride. I'm not going to use that much. Crash. Hey, that's... not necessarily letting them all have kittens after kittens isn't necessarily good for them either. And besides, you don't get to say you're better than me, so there's that, right? The pie loves me. This is a wild one. I'm gonna give this, let's see, mallet soft, mallet pitch. Let's mallet this. Let's go. It's 417 is this harmonic. So 419. 417. If you like it, look up solfeggios. There we go. Now all of these they're fairly compatible. So let's take and let's save this kit. Save kit. We're going to call it, what should we call this kit? Should we call it metallic solfeggio. There we go. There we go. Now it'll be under user kits. I'm sorry. You've had enough tweets. You've had enough tweets. All right, now let's move over to the sequencer. And like you've seen in other terrific tutorials, like Jade Star's tutorial is amazing, and she came in partway through the updates, so that she's even normally I would always want to, let's clear everything. We're going to clear all hi-hat. Let's clear all these hi-hats. Let's clear all the snares. Clear all these kicks. There's no rides. There's no crashes. There's no tom high. There's a couple tom lows. Let's clear them out. And cowbells, clear them. Right, so now we're ready to do some sequencing. If we press play, nothing will happen. What? Something does happen. Why is that? Oh, that's because of the mutate setting. So let's turn the mutate all the way down. Why is something happening? Hi-hat, snare, kick, ride, crash, tom, cowbell. There aren't any. So if our mutate is down to 0, nothing should happen. I wonder why something happens. Oh, I see. It's because we're on... No, it's because we're on the second. Now we have to come back. So the thing that places velocity, there's all these other things, but the only one you need in order to get something happening is velocity. So I'm going to clear out. We're going to go hi-hat. Yep, let's clear out those hi-hats. Clear out those snares. Clear out those kicks. Clear out the ride. Clear out the crash. There's no tom high. There's no tom low. There's no cowbells. Now nothing should happen. There we go. Nothing happens. So stop that. Let's go back to, whoa. So back to pattern 1. So we're on pattern 1. So let's go to kick, and then we'll just kick a 4 on the floor. Now we've used the randomize setting, and that's why we spent a bunch of time on these randomizing, so that we would know how that works. So now you can randomize yourself an entire kit, and then you can go through, fine-tune each kit, and then you get to start sequencing. How exciting is that? That is just so fun. Now let's listen. See, just a little velocity. I want the velocity kind of high because this is the kick. And you can really fine tune it. But say, what if we only want on 1, let's get a nice loud kick on 1 and 4. Then we'll come back to hi-hat. Let's throw in some hi-hats. Now we've got that going on. Let's go to our snare. Now watch if I just go like this. Now, what about that, right? So it's like rolling, and this is just everything is playing. We're just using one little section. But instead of that, we'll use this other function. We'll use another randomizing function. Let's click it. Here it is. So next to clear, where we cleared it, now let's randomize it. That's pretty awesome. Let's leave that. We've got our kicks. Now we've got a ride. Let's throw in. That's a little crazy. See, now I've just, look at this. I take down all the velocity. Hi, kitty. You're so beautiful. You want to sit in my lap? Come on. See, I like it. It's just little low velocities. It's that crash. Stop that for a second. Now start it again. Got that little. All right, now let's see. Like take the tom. Let's add one on the third beat. Let's add it on the first and. Now take this low one and let's add it on 2 and 4. Now cowbell. Let's see, let's put cowbell on the 3. That's not half bad. All right, let's stop that for a second. Now what we do is we're in 1 here. Let's stop the whole transport. So see, we're in P1. So I'm going to hit copy. And then we're going to come to P2 where there's nothing and paste it. So we'll go back to crash. And we'll get rid of the crash because crash will only have in the beginning. Right? So we are only having our crash in at the beginning. So now we've got this crash one. So let's go to P1 and we're going play. Now no more crash, right? Yeah, it's a pretty wild beat, huh? It's pounding. So you've got that. and say you like this and it's working for you. So let's save it as a preset. Save preset. Now we give it a name. What's our preset name? It thought it could use more cowbell. Always more yeah, this is not much cowbell. Let's see, what do I call it? This sounds kind of like a military, or it's a fight. I'm going to call it fight song. Hey, what are you doing to me, silly girl? So now we've got fight song. We've got this whopping thing here. We've got our super cool preset, fight song. We're on fight song. And now we just kick it. Now, if you want to add a little light fun, you add mutate. See, it's a little different each time now. And then there's this soul vocabulary solo. Now, she's like, no, I don't want to sit in your lap. I want more treats. So we'll take down. All right, let's stop this. I want to show you the mutate with, so mutate makes it work all by itself. Let's go to P3 where there's nothing. See, now hit play. Let's see what's in here. Apparently, oh, I see, because there's nothing in here, so it's playing. Now all we'll get is this. We'll get one hi-hat. See, now that there's something in P3, so if there's nothing in there, it will play. So now I've just got, let's get 2 hi-hats. And then let's get our kicks. I make natural treats for cats. Hey, thanks, Thomas. That's super cool. Trout mask replica. Okay, now what we do is we turn up this mutate. Now let's just take the kicks out. So now the only things that are actually in here is this cowbell. Now this is all the stuff that's going on is strictly the mutate. So all except for that one cowbell. So now we'll mess with the soul buttons. The soul kind of gives it, the soul, so can you hear that it's much more clumsy sounding here with the soul turned down? So let's turn the soul up. See, now that it gives it a rhythm that actually kind of vibes. So this is basically just when the soul and vocab are to hold your stuff down to make it more musical instead of like vocab will keep I know these are really hard to come up with, and I don't know exactly. Let's see if we can find jAmp percussive manual. Woo, 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 woo. See, it's pretty cool, right? Ooh, here's a demo and manual. Haha. And it's pretty cool, huh? Let's see. There's the manual. Boom. Haha. do. I don't have a password for that. So I don't have a, I wonder if we can get that to there we go. Open in new window. There we go. Now I think we can. I can't stand listening to that anymore. Let's make it stop. Waha! Okay, let's see if we can find something with that soul and vocab. Since we're here and other people have already covered this app, lucky us. We just get to do stuff. La la la. Purchase info, synthesizer view, MIDI step button, percussion ID drop down, kick, snare, tom low, tom high. So yep, all of these. Oh, here let's listen. Let's read some of the parameters. Pitch is the main pitch of the drum sound in hertz. Decay controls the length of resonance. Low pass filters out the high frequencies. Overtone gain controls the inharmonicity of the sound by changing the amount of feedback gain in the underlying all-pass filter. Overtone pitch controls the inharmonicity of the sound by changing the frequency in the underlying all-pass filter. Noise pitch. Any noise will first pass through a bandpass filter. This knob controls the frequency range of this bandpass filter. Noise adds filtered white noise to the sound, mainly used to simulate a snare. Very cool. Pitch bend. When triggered, the drum will start at the initial pitch, but then will bend lower. The amount of pitch bend can be controlled with this knob. Mallet simulates the usage of soft and hard mallets. Velocity is the force of a drum trigger. Level fine-tunes the gain of this drum. Pan, left or right stereo panning. So the cymbal-based parameters are the pitch controls the pitch of the cymbal in steps of half tones, goes from -24 to +24. So that's 2 octaves. Decay controls the length of resonance of the cymbals. A high-pass filter filters out the lower frequencies. So that's opposite of in the membrane drums. The timbre changes the overall sound of the cymbal. The attack, such a sharp attacking sound or a slowly increasing buildup of sound, which does an amazing thing. If you watch Jade's one, it makes it sound like you're brushing something across it. It sounds amazing. Chad Freeman. Crash delay. This parameter assumes that the mallet's soft knob is not fully turned down. The parameter expresses in seconds the amount of delay until the cymbal sound crashes. Wow, these are so cool. Mallet soft. The initial cymbal trigger can be controlled by this knob. It goes from a pop of white noise to a soft oscillating sine pulse or anything in between. Wicked. So mallet pitch, it'll control the frequency of the soft oscillating sine pulse. So cool. So velocity, the force of the trigger. Level fine-tunes the gain. So you copy the active drum or cymbal. So the copy and paste things work both on steps in your sequencer, and it works on the knobs of your drums. So super cool. Light and dark mode has changed. So in the update, light and dark mode has changed from being on the top right-hand corner of the screen. It changed it's in the settings menu. So that makes it different. So see where it is. I'll show you. Hey, it's Sal. Welcome. So see, this is the dark and light symbol, and that's not what's happening. Okay, we want to get... So you can draw with your finger. That's a cool thing. There's a bunch of parameter lanes. Those are wicked. So the velocity is both to give it the sound at all, because if there's zero velocity, there's zero sound. So but did you see the way that we had those, like the snare was soft and hard velocity, and it really went... It really gave it a subtle boop, 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 you know, the bam, 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 hit it hard. I'm talking my vocabulary by Kubrick, right? So the pitch parameter, you can mess with the pitch, you can mess with the decay, you can mess with the flam. So that's triggers up to 3 ghost notes together with the actual trigger. Up to 3 ghost notes. So it's not just, the flam control is really kind of sexy and it has a little variation. Very awesome. So, and then instead of a single trigger, create a roll. So you can pop a roll in. Chance. Now, this is something I didn't really understand very well. This parameter is relevant when the sequencer is allowed to mutate. So the probability that a given sequencer step is allowed to mutate is determined by the mutate knob. This knob sets the percentage of steps that will be mutated randomly. If the current step will be mutated, there are 2 mutation scenarios. The first scenario follows the vocabulary scenario, where the mutation follows the underlying groove system of jAmp Percussive. So the second scenario is the random scenario, where the mutation follows the trigger probability set by this chance parameter. Whether the vocabulary scenario or the random scenario is followed depends on the vocab knob. That's what the vocab knob is for. If the current step follows the random scenario, the probability that the step will be triggered is given by this chance parameter percentage. So if you turn the vocab knob down, then it will be random. If you turn the vocab up, that's what is my guess. Intensity. If this step is triggered by the random scenario, then the intensity parameter sets the target velocity of the trigger. The velocity can still vary due to the soul knob. Fun. So there's 8 patterns. So like I said, we only did 3 patterns, and if there is no velocities set into a pattern, then it's not going to play. So you have to have at least one thing triggered. So if you want to just do one that's fully mutated, then you just have one little trigger, a soft little trigger on there, and then it'll work and mutate. So you won't have a full pattern and a mutation. You'll have a partial pattern and a mutation. I love velocity too. So in straight mode, 4 sequencer steps account for 1 beat. When in shuffle mode, 3 sequencer steps account for 1 beat. So there's your tempo. That works. You can actually unsync it and set a separate tempo from your control tempo that's in your DAW. That's insane. You could really do some crazy polyrhythm stuff in here. So swing delays some of the triggers in order to create a swing feel. So here we go. Mutate sets the probability that a given sequencer step will mutate. There are 2 mutation scenarios. The first one follows a vocabulary. It means the mutation will follow the underlying groove system of jAmp Percussive. The other scenario is random. In that case, the mutation will follow the trigger probability that's set by the chance parameter. If the current step should mutate, now this is vocab, right? Then this parameter controls the probability that the vocabulary scenario should be followed. The vocabulary means that the mutation will follow the underlying groove system. The other scenario is the random scenario. So that means if you turn the vocabulary all the way up, the mutation will follow the underlying groove. If you turn the vocab all the way down, it will be random and it will be set by the chance parameters. Sweet. In the case that the current step is mutating and following the vocabulary scenario, the mutation in solo will follow the groove system. The groove system has 2 modes, normal mode or solo mode. The solo knob determines the probability that normal or solo mode is followed. Now the next parameter is cowbell, hi-hat, ride. If the groove system of jAmp Percussive is followed, so if you're in your underlying groove system, you want to find out whether or not the groove will use a cowbell, hi-hat, or ride. So you can change the random stuff that comes in. Hey, Wolfstone Studio, Ron, what's up? Space. If the groove system is followed, then you can control the spacing or groove density. Nice. That's what that's for. So straight groove, shuffle groove, that's the 4 count to 3 count. You can also half time or full or regular groove, and that's also following your groove system. So glitch, mutate, and override. Let's assume a given step will be mutated. Then 3 options are available. Glitch. The current step is mutated, but the mutation is not stored. So next time we arrive here in the pattern, we have the original setting again. Mutate. The current step is mutated and the system remembers the mutation, but the mutation isn't written into the sequencer. Next time we arrive here in the pattern, we hear the mutation again, but the sequencer still remembers our original setting. Overwrite, the current step is mutated and the mutation is written in the sequencer. Wicked. In the case that the current step is mutating and following the vocabulary scenario, that's the underlying system. The mutation will follow the groove system. The groove system has 2 modes, normal mode and solo mode. In the case we follow the solo mode, there are a couple of solo grooves that can be selected. Select any of the grooves from the drop down to hear the difference. Assuming that the mutate knob is not 0, that the vocab knob is not 0, and the solo knob is not 0. Right. So then the last thing that's interesting is playing the manual sequential random. Play patterns in manual mode. That means that you touch the pattern, the P1 through P8, and then that works. Hey, thanks, Wolfstone. You guys, you're right. I hit 700 subs. Yay. So sequential will play the pattern from P1, P2, P3, and that's as many of them as have a velocity set in them anywhere. Random plays them in random order. The one, let's see, decay. So if you want to change the decay parameter, then you click the mutate. If you want to mutate the pitch, allow it to change, set it to 0 if no pitch should be changed. Sweet. You can get polyrhythms. Right, I think that's all we need of there. So let's play around a little more. So we've got this, the reason this keeps playing is because it's set, see now I set it to glitch. And because it saved those mutates. Now we'll put it on mutate. We'll turn up our mutate. Now watch, I turn the mutate down, but the mutations stay in. How cool is that, right? I turn the sol way down. It doesn't vary the velocity as much. Everything is bang, 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 bang. Let's turn that back up. See how it varies the velocities? Now turn the vocab down. Turn the solo way up. See, it's still no mutate. Now let's hit. I'm part of the 700 club. Oh boy. Turn this solo down. Not as much showboating. Turn the vocab up. That's the underlying groove system. Let's change this. Here's the cowbell, a little cowbell, a little hi-hat. Yeah, hear that? Now the space. All right, so since it's on mutate, now let's change it to glitch. See, now it's not saving each mutate, so there's less mutating going on. So it's on glitch. So now if you turn the mutation down, now all you're going to get is one cowbell. But now watch this nuts. Now we'll change it to overwrite, and now we'll get ourselves a pattern. Let's look. Now see? Now there's a couple hi-hats. Yep. There's some snares. Some rides. No crashes. No toms. Now let's change it from overwrite to glitch. So now what we have, we turn the mutation down. And let's see what we've overwritten it to. Now we've got hi-hats here. Whoops. We got hi-hats. Then we got snares. And so once you've got them mutated and you see the mutate, no crashes, no toms, just that one cowbell. Let's go back to our kick and say I don't want this kick. Right? Now we've got two kicks in there. Now we've got this, and we've got a whole new beat. We're here on P3. Now we're on glitch, so let's try to put up our mutate. Now it's not adding anything. We'll cycle through and we'll see how nothing is changing. And also it's different each time because it's not saving the mutation. So that's how we get a nice little vibity vibe. Now I'm going to put a stop to this. I'm going to resave the preset. I'm going to oversave the preset because we've been working on this same preset. So I'm going to try this light mutant. Let's see what happens. So not much going on in the actual thing. There's just mutates. This is just mutating with a certain. So this is how, let's stop this. Now, one of the ways I use this is by like a little launch pad, baby. And we're almost finished, so. Right. Let's, we got Kaleidosonic Rock. Let's double check. Let's now we're going to change. We're actually changing. We're at 110 beats per minute. And I'm going to just keep this at A minor. And we're going to be like. Really simple beat, and now I've got this mutation going. See, so it's subtly different each time. That's something you can just do. drum. Sweet. That's all you really need. So I totally recommend this app, jAmp Percussive. You can make yourself a plain old beat, or you can mutate it. You can mutate when you're using drum patterns. Let's say goodbye to you with me and my kitty's face. Hi. So I haven't set up my shows for the rest of the week, but I do have ideas. Tomorrow I'm probably going to be working on LumaFusion and the LumaFusion update, and how to take my stuff that I made last week and use it together in LumaFusion to do some messing around. Next up, we've got Jade Star. And Jade Star is doing an exciting, what is that app again? Damn it. King of VHS. I have been waiting for this sucker to come out. So very excited. You will be automatically moved forward to Jade right when I click end. So big, big, big love, everybody. All the peace you can carry. And get creative. Get in here. Get these apps. Or if you don't have these apps, take some of the ideas that came with this demonstration and try to figure out a way to apply them to your own music, if that works for you. Right on. Thanks, everybody. See you soon. Thanks, everyone. And again, big, 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 biggest love. And all the peace that you can carry, baby. Woohoo! Woohoo!